welcome our chief guests, members from WorldSkills, industry, academia, and our dear students to this felicitation ceremony. Skill Council for Green Jobs, in collaboration with Innodust Techsolution, has organized this WorldSkills Selection Test felicitation ceremony with an objective to recognize the efforts of all the stakeholders involved in the WorldSkills competition preparation for renewable energy skill. It was indeed a remarkable experience to see the commitment and passion of all the candidates, experts, and jury towards the preparation of WorldSkills competition. Today, we would witness this preparation journey along with a panel discussion which would be beneficial to a lot of academia heads who have joined us today, and industry, as well as the policymakers. But before we begin with the sessions, ladies and gentlemen, I would request Mr. Arpit Sharma, Chief Operating Officer, SCGJ, to felicitate our chief guest. And it's my honor to welcome our chief guest, Srimati Renuprava Nayak ji, Additional Secretary, Odisha Skill Development Authority. Just to inform everyone, Srimati Renuprava Nayak ji has been working extensively in the skill development and technical education sector in Odisha, and within OSDA, she has taken several reforms and initiatives to aid the skilling efforts of Odisha. Thank you so much, ma'am. We are honored with your gracious presence. Join us. He would be joining us in some time, but meanwhile, let us begin with the session. Now, we would welcome our members from WorldSkills industry and academia, and I would request Mr. Sunil Shahu, who is the CEO of Innodust Techsolution, to welcome and honor our industry members. First, we would like to honor Mr. Abhinav Shukla, Deputy Chief Expert, Renewable Energy and WorldSkills, and founder, Savor Technologies. I'd request the audiovisual guys to please play a background music. Mr. Abhinav Shukla is also the India expert for renewable energy at WorldSkills. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. I would now request Sunil Sahu, sir, to please felicitate Ms. Ruchi Parikh, India expert at WorldSkills and Professor C.V. Raman Global University. Mr. Rajat is also a renowned personality in the WorldSkills fraternity who helped India bag its first ever gold medal at WorldSkills Kazan 2019. We are waiting for our guest, Sasmita Joshi, to join us. Meanwhile, we would move on to our next guest. Sunil sir, I request you to felicitate Mr. Praveen Saxena, who is a mentor of change at Niti Aayog and also the Chief Executive Officer at Smolton Mill Private Limited. Thank you so much, sir. Moving on, we would now like to felicitate Mr. Bharat Chhabra, sir, Head of Change Management and L&D, TP Central Odisha Distribution Limited. Please, sir. Can we have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? I would now like Sunil sir to felicitate Mr. Vamsi Krishna, who is the Director at Institute of Solar Power, Energy and Vocational Training. and gentlemen, how we can forget Mr. Arpit Sharma, the Chief Operating Officer, Skill Council for Green Jobs, in this felicitation. And I would request Sunil sir to please felicitate sir with a bouquet. And I feel proud to give you a background about Mr. Arpit Sharma, that he's a renowned personality in the green energy sector and has played a pivotal role in facilitating skill initiatives, certifications, affiliation assessment, and given a lot of job opportunities in green energy sector pan-India. Thank you so much, sir, for gracing us with your presence. And thank you everyone for joining us on this occasion. Moving on with the next segment of this event, I would now like to apprise you about WorldSkills and how it has transformed the skilling landscape across the globe. For those who don't know about what WorldSkills is, I'll take this moment to introduce you about this grand event. WorldSkills competition is the largest skill competition in the world and is also considered as Olympics of skills. This competition brings students, industry, and educators together to give youth the chance to compete, experience, and learn how to become the best in their skill of choice. India created history at the 45th WorldSkills competition at Kazan, Russia in August 2019 by winning 1 gold, which was from Odisha, 1 silver, 2 bronze, and 19 medallions of excellence medals. It's time that we relook at our journey, that how India fared at WorldSkills Kazan. And for that, I would like to show you a small video clip which captures the glimpse of the journey. I'll request the AV personnel to please check the sound.
और इस 2019 आप सब प्रस्थान करें, सफल हो, इस कामना के साथ बहुत बहुत सबको नमस्कार, सबको शुभकामनाएं, धन्यवाद।
Welcome to Kazan. Welcome to Russia.
Is a champion. Savor every moment. And of course, enjoy yourselves.
Please welcome India.
По стандарту WorldSkills объявляю открытым.
Welcome to the closing ceremony of WorldSkills Kazan.
Спасибо Татарстану, спасибо Казани.
I'm sure that video might have given you goosebumps because for me, every time I watch this video, it gives and instills me the passion to represent our country at such an international stage. And I'm sure with the training SCG has provided to the students, they are going to create wonders for India at the international stage. Having said that, the success of WorldSkills had a huge impact on Indian youth, and there has been a tremendous increase in the number of registrations after India's success in Kazan. Skill Council for Green Jobs, a pioneering sector skill council under Skill India Mission, played an instrumental role in training and mentoring the Indian contingent, who went on to bag India's first ever gold medal at WorldSkills Kazan 2019. And I believe we all are here, most of us from Odisha, and know the person who got the gold medal. After this unprecedented performance, SCGJ has taken up this responsibility to lead India in a new skill, which is renewable energy, which was introduced by WorldSkills International in this year, 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed an honor for me to call on stage Mr. Arpit Sharma, Chief Operating Officer, Skill Council for Green Jobs, to take us through the renewable energy WorldSkills preparation journey and how it has impacted the lives of the competitors in the means of jobs, in the means of skilling up themselves. So sir, the stage is yours, and I'll request you to please come and grace the podium with your presence. Please, sir.
Honorable Madam Renuprava Nayak ji, Shri Sanjib Kumar ji, who shall be joining us within, I think, a few minutes. Our faculties, our industry members, our training partners, our experts, faculty members, and of course, these 5 dear students who have been part of this journey who have been a part of our lives, frankly, for the last so many months. So, SCGJ's introduction, I think, is not needed from my side, that what we do, why this organization was created, and what are the goals and ambitions. I think the video says it all, what all we have done, how we have traveled this journey of 7 years, more than 7 years now. And under the guidance and leadership of our Honorable CEO, Sir Dr. Praveen Saxena ji, we have been able to reach this far. Our aim is not only to work in the area of renewable energy. Frankly, our scope of work is far beyond renewable energy sector. So we have solar energy, hydro energy, wind, and biomass, which are the main verticals, the key pillars of the Sector Skill Council. But then we have a vision, and we have already started working in the futuristic technologies like green hydrogen, floating solar, offshore wind, biofuels. So these are the sectors that we will be touching. We have also touched base a lot of lives in terms of trainings, assessment, and certification in the areas of waste management, where SCGJ has trained and certified more than 4 lakh sanitation workers across various municipalities in the country, and has enabled more than 3,000 trainers in the waste management domain to come up to the expectations of the country. These sanitation workers were the primary, I would say, the leaders, or they were the main warriors during the COVID period, including the doctors and the policemen. But our trainings and our methodology of teaching them how to ensure health and safety at the workplace, how to use the mechanized equipments, actually made a lot of difference during the COVID times. Now, I would come to specifically to WorldSkills, how this journey actually started. Almost a year back, we had registrations of more than around 1,000 candidates who registered on NSDC's portal, who showed their interest in the WorldSkills Renewable Energy because it was introduced for the first time. And that's how our journey began. So we started doing a lot of tests. We gave them online trainings through our experts. We have our experts, Mr. Sunil Sahu, Mr. Shukla, Mr. Vamsi Krishna, and Mr. Prem Bharti. So we had some because of COVID restrictions, we did some online trainings, then we had some physical trainings. Eventually, there were state-level competitions which were held by each state. And we moved forward to the regional level competition where there were more than 25 candidates participating in Visakhapatnam in the south, and Punjab in the north, Chandigarh in the north. And gradually we zeroed down to almost 10 to 15 candidates who were part of this journey. Now, I would like to briefly tell all of you that it became very challenging for us that from 1,000 people, 1,000 candidates, we had these 15, almost 15 candidates who were equally good. They substantially made a lot of progress in installations. They substantially made progress in their theoretical studies, and we were, all our experts and the Sector Skill Council was really confused that how do we select now? So Skill Council for Green Jobs came up with a very, very innovative approach. That's where we introduced a competition learning management system, which is called Querentia, which we developed. And through Querentia, we could identify that what is the strength and what is the shortcoming of each candidate. Now, we had a second challenge, that we have evaluated the candidates, we have given them the feedback. What if they come to us and they say, no, I'm better than him, I'm better than her? So we, because as part of the system, we have to be equally transparent. So what we did was we had an interaction with their parents. We made a detailed report that this is where your candidate is strong at, this is where he's weak at, and these were the micro level points where this report was given to each one of them. And to my surprise, when this report was given to them in the second selection test at Odisha, in the third selection test, ma'am, we realized, because now they knew their shortcomings, all of them did equally well. They knew the shortcomings and they improved on those shortcomings. So yesterday only I was having an interaction with the experts that with the help of Querentia and with the help of the transparency, you know, we are able to have these 5 candidates in front of us who are equally good, equally hardworking, and equally talented. And I can promise you this thing, and I will prove it to you today, that they are not just talented, they are industry ready. So this has been our journey of SCGJ so far. As far as why solar or why renewable energy should be focused, I have in front of me some very important 5 points which India had given at COP26, the Paris Agreement. So India gave 5 ambitious targets at the COP26 at Glasgow. So the first one was that India said that we have to raise the non-fossil fuel capacity by 500 gigawatts by 2030. So non-fossil fuels would have nuclear, it would have large hydro. So we have to go to 500 gigawatts, which is and by 2030, which is a huge target. Then we have a very important point that India will have its energy demands to be met by, to be met from renewable energy sources by 50%. So if if I decode it personally, then I would say that in order to meet the energy demands by 50%, India should have a installed capacity of at least 700 gigawatts by 2030, sir. I think I am nearly correct. And to have a 700 gigawatts is a huge, huge ambitious target. We'll come to the jobs or we come to the workforce later. Then we have a very important commitment that India will reduce the total projected carbon emissions by 1 billion tons, 1 gigatons. That is huge. It is not easy, it is highly ambitious. By 2030, reducing your carbon emissions are directly linked to the economic growth of the country. And we have these already polluting countries, developed rich countries who emit 5 times more than us. We have China today who is at 10 gigatons. We have US at 5 gigatons. We have India at 2.5 gigatons today. But to come to reduce the carbon emissions, we have to understand that we have to change the way our technology is. We have to have a technology transfer. We need to have some aids and funds from the developed countries, and we have to change our energy systems. So why I'm telling you this is the reason that we'll have a lot of changes in our country, in our society, in our technology by 2030. The fourth one is that the carbon intensity of our economy has to be reduced by 45% from 2005 levels. And the most important commitment that India has given is that we will be net zero by 2070. Net zero by 2070, in my opinion, is very difficult, but achievable. And yesterday only I was having a talk with Praveen sir, and we were discussing that for the developed countries who have already polluted, who have already emitted so much of carbon emissions, greenhouse gases, of course the percentage of GH emissions in the atmosphere which are today, India has a very, very negligible contribution. But still, to be net zero by 2070 would require a lot of change in the energy systems, a lot of dependence on renewable energy, a lot of dependence on solar technologies. So I discussed these things in detail just to make every one of you realize that on international forums, India has given such high commitments. Solar is one promising technology which is going to have a big future, a long future in the country today. And the requirement of skilled manpower would be fairly there because a lot of solar installations. I recently went through a study a report by CEEW and NRDC along with SCGJ, and we estimated that in order to achieve a target of 450 gigawatts by 2030 in renewable energy sector, 34 lakh workforce would be deployed in renewable energy alone. And out of 34 lakh people, the workforce, around 28 lakh candidates would be deployed directly in solar. So this is the kind of employment India would generate by 2030. And the level at which the candidates are trained at the WorldSkills level would be the requirement of the industry in order to completely eliminate this gap that the candidates are ready, they have been trained, but they are not employed. So in order to bridge this gap, the WorldSkills level training would be required in renewable energy. So I wish our candidates all the very best for the future, and I really pray that we achieve the aspirational targets which India has set in the international forum. And I would be extremely happy and extremely willing to contribute to the nation's ambitious targets. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Arpit sir, for painting such a brief scenario of the renewable energy sector in India and how the RE sector will lead to create so many jobs in order to achieve the targets which has been set by the Honorable Prime Minister. I happen to spend a lot of time with Arpit sir, and I think he's a visionary leader, and I'm sure that SCGJ would reach new heights under his leadership. But before we move on, I would like to showcase what SCGJ as an organization has done with these 5 students across a period of 1 year, the trainings, the industrial visits across India. So there's a small clip which we would like to play to make everyone aware about this entire journey.
Renewables, yes, the candidates are new and the trade is new. We will see to it that they are given sufficient trainings before we move to the WorldSkills.
ट्रेनर ने बहुत कुछ हमें सिखाया है जो जब मैं यहाँ पार्टिसिपेट किया तो मुझे कुछ इतना आइडिया नहीं था सोलर के रिलेटेड और प्लांट कैसे इंस्टॉल करते हैं.
So to reduce the effort, we have used this Valencia platform. So now it is very easy for the jury team to enter the mark, to see the summary paper, and also they can be able to download the complete report in online mode.
Well, that has been the journey of Skill Council for Green Jobs along with these 5 students, and we'll be soon felicitating them with awards and few surprises as well. But before moving on, we have a very interesting segment where we will be having a panel discussion on the topic Benefits of WorldSkill to Indian Youth. And this is going to be a very interesting session, especially for the academia heads who have joined us in terms of what they could adopt as part of the college curriculum or the university curriculum to help students upskill and participate and perform at such global level. For this discussion, I would like to call on stage our WorldSkills expert, Mr. Abhinav Shukla. So I'd request you to please join us on stage. Mr. Abhinav Shukla is India expert at WorldSkills, Renewable Energy, and Deputy Chief Expert at WorldSkills. The next panelist I would call on stage is Ms. Ruchi Parikh. Ma'am, I request you to please join us on stage. Ms. Ruchi is a renowned personality in the international fraternity since she helped India bag silver medal, the first ever silver medal in web technology skill, and she has also been playing a role of advisor and consultants to a lot of sector skill council, helping them strategize the skill development plan with respect to the training. I would now like to call Mr. Rajat Kumar Samantre on stage to join us for the panel discussion. Mr. Rajat is from Odisha, and I believe everyone is aware about how famous he has been since he is the person who helped India got the first ever gold medal for Odisha in water technology skill. and he's also the subject matter expert in water technology. With this, I would now like to call on stage the moderator of the panel discussion, who is no one but our own Mr. Praveen Saxena, who is the CEO, Smalt & Beryl. So I would request you to please join us on the stage and take the proceeding forward.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Ram, for painting a very beautiful picture of how aspirational I feel WorldSkills is. And beta, आप 5 लोग जो बैठे हैं, आप skill stars हैं, and I think each one of you, I can probably see, I can say that you have goosebumps on how WorldSkills can change the lives. I think we are honored to have the presence of all the meaningful people. Right from Madam who's joining us as a policy maker to industry, academia, students, and I'm sure the parents are also watching live. It's such a beautiful place for me to sit because I have been interacting with these 3 people for a long time, and sometimes I think probably this is the only platform that I become nervous. You know, when you have people who are representing India. It was my dream. I used to play cricket. Never my coach told, beta, aap India represent nahi karoge. You're not that good. But I think these people have done it. So I think a big round of applause for the mentors who spent so much of time. I think in today's world, if anyone can give you time, that's the most precious gift you can get. So welcome. I think what we would do is WorldSkills, I think all of us know. Globally, now it is an unequivocally accepted phenomena that how competition-driven learning changes or probably expedites or boosts or provide the necessary fillip to skill development. So I think we'll start with Ruchi. You have been traveling with Team India to Middle East, Abu Dhabi, Russia, getting the medal finally at Kazan. So what has been your experience of WorldSkills, or what different was it? How has been your experience with WorldSkills?
I got associated with WorldSkills, I think 4 years back, when I got a chance to train the Indian team for the nationals after their regional rounds. So that was my first exposure to WorldSkills, India Skills, and before that even I was not aware. And when I got into that community, I was surprised to see that there is a segment which is doing so much into the skilling ecosystem, and yet most of us are not aware of it. Then I happened to represent India in WorldSkills Asia in Abu Dhabi. Then we went to WorldSkills Nationals. And every time I visited a new country, I realized that countries are spending so much, not in just terms of money, but in terms of intent, in terms of workforce, in terms of the thought that skilling is the, if you have to increase the economy, if you have to change the future of your economic, if you have to bring that economic growth, skilling becomes the very, very essential part of it. And that was the time I got to know that, in fact, WorldSkills community was established with this intent after the Second World War, that we want to provide more skilled labor to the countries, because economy was suffering. And with that intent, I think in Tokyo, 2-3 countries joined, and they created, initially they called it Labor Organization, then they renamed it to WorldSkills. And then beyond, these WorldSkills competitions started happening. And it is very, very motivating actually, because India also participates in a large scale. The India contingent in the 45th WorldSkills Kazan was the largest ever. They were participating, I think, in 46 skills, sir. 46 skills they were participating. I think second after like those big countries that we hear of, Russia and China and those countries. So yes, India is doing and has that intent. Probably we lack few things here and there, and now that we have more such people, like-minded people, passionate people joining us on this journey, so I'm sure that we can make that dream of our Prime Minister come true. let's make India the skill capital of the world. And I think WorldSkills is very important component of it, because how assessments and how, we have so many other programs also, but how WorldSkills is different than those programs is something to look forward to.
Wonderful, thank you. Thank you so much. And I think before India becomes the skill capital of the world, ma'am, I think we should start from Odisha. Let Odisha become the skill capital of India first. And I think I've been told that we have a panel discussion on that topic as well. Abhinav sir. Abhinav sir has been a known celebrity, known name. He has touched lives of so many people. Meri jab baat hoti hai sir se, to he always tells me that, right from an on-ground experience of installing a solar panel to, understanding students as individuals and then training them. So sir has been the master trainer for Skill Council for Green Jobs, training people under various schemes. Sir has her own institution, and PMKVY has been one of the mediums through which he has been training. So sir, how is your experience? And now Abhinav ji is the deputy chief expert, and I think all of you must understand that it is something like he is the president of ICC, the Cricket Council which is there. So India's representation is there. So he is the deputy chief expert amongst 70, 80 countries who take part for the renewable energy skill. The first time the skill has been introduced, and Abhinav ji has been selected as deputy chief expert. So big round of applause for sir. Sir, आपसे जानना चाहेंगे that how, WorldSkills, you have now been associated with WorldSkills. How is it different from other skill trainings that have been happening? What skill trainings what can we adopt from WorldSkills? So some comments on that topic.
Thank you very much for the honor. If you ask me, before 1 year, what is WorldSkills, I was not aware. And when I was nominated as a deputy chief expert, तो मुझे लगा कि पता नहीं ये कौन सी जिम्मेदारी है, पता नहीं मैं इसको कर पाऊंगा कि नहीं। लेकिन जब इस जर्नी को मैंने स्टार्ट किया, तो शायद मैं ये कहूँगा कि जो मेरा सपना था आज से 2015 में मैं देखा करता था कि भारत में भी ऐसे इंस्टॉलेशन हो जो विश्व स्तरीय हो. It should be world class. Just take an example of this room, sir. It looks like world class. आप यहाँ बैठ के inferior feel नहीं करते. You don't feel third world country. तो ऐसा feeling मुझे आया और मुझे एक नया जोश मिला कि trainings में because स्किल काउंसिल आज आपको जान के आश्चर्य होगा कि हम लोग 80 देशों को ट्रेनिंग दे रहे हैं. उसमें टेक्नीशियंस नहीं है, उसमें पॉलिसी मेकर्स हैं. वी आर गिविंग ट्रेनिंग्स फॉर द पॉलिसी मेकर्स फॉर अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज, लैटिन अमेरिकन कंट्रीज. और ये सब संभव हो रहा है क्योंकि आज हमें ग्लोबल, इट्स अ एरा ऑफ ग्लोबलाइजेशन. हमको समझने मिल रहा है कि ब्राज़ील के लोग कैसे सोचते हैं, जापान के लोग कैसे सोचते हैं, जर्मन्स कैसे देखते हैं रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी को. एंड सर जैसे जस्ट टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ योर बुके. इस बुके में जब बहुत सारे फूल हैं देन इट बिकम्स वेरी ब्यूटीफुल. किसी एक फूल से सुंदरता नहीं आती. सो नाउ दिस वर्ल्ड इज बिकमिंग वन, जैसे मोदी जी ने कहा है ना, वन ग्रिड वन नेशन एंड देन वन वर्ल्ड वन ग्रिड. पूरी विश्व हो और उसकी एक ग्रिड हो. तो जब ओमान में बिजली बन रही है तो सूर्य यहाँ पर थोड़ा अस्त हो चुका है लेकिन वहाँ से बिजली यहाँ आ सकती है. तो वन वर्ल्ड वन ग्रिड जैसी बातें हो रही हैं. और दूसरा सर आपका जो सवाल है, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? द बिगेस्ट डिफरेंस इज स्पिरिट. जो लोग, एक गली में खेलने वाला बच्चा कैसे खेलता है और जब वो सोचता है कि मैं सचिन तेंदुलकर बनूंगा, मैं वर्ल्ड कप खेलूंगा. जब आप वर्ल्ड कप की फीलिंग लाते हैं तो आप रिस्पॉन्सिबल होते हैं. और उतनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी से ट्रेनर भी काम करता है. उतनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी से यू वोंट बिलीव, हमारे जो बच्चे हैं इन्होंने इतनी मेहनत की है जितनी शायद मैंने भी नहीं की कभी. और मुझे बोलने में कोई हिचक नहीं है इस चीज में कि कुछ चीजें आज मैं इनके साथ डिस्कस करता हूं. मैं बढ़ाता नहीं हूं, और अगर मुझे किसी चीज़ में, किसी सॉफ्टवेयर में कुछ ऐसा लगता है कि मुझे नहीं आ रहा है, तो मैं इनसे पूछता हूँ, बिकॉज दे आर ऑल इंजीनियर्स. हम तो 16 साल पुराने इंजीनियर हैं, हमने इंजीनियरिंग ड्राइंग हाथ से की है. सो द बेसिक डिफरेंस इज नाउ कमिंग बिकॉज ऑफ दिस ग्लोबलाइजेशन. आज जापानीज कैसे सोचते हैं? जापानीज आर वेरी गुड विथ फ्लोटिंग सोलर्स. उन्होंने इंट्रोड्यूस किया फ्लोटिंग. आज इंडिया में सबसे बड़ा टारगेट है फ्लोटिंग का, और उसमें हमें ऐसा मैन पावर चाहिए जो इस चीज़ों को समझ सकता हो, जो करने में, और उसमें उड़ीसा ने काफ़ी तेज़ी से काम चालू कर दिया है. सो माय सबमिशन हियर इज कि इफ़ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द क्वालिटी, यू हैव टू सी द ग्लोबल एरा. आपको दुनिया को देखना होगा. आप अपने को ही standards nahi maan sakte.
Probably look at the global picture. Thank you, Abhinav sir. I think it's very important point to two words which really impressed me were the spirit with which you look at and the sense of responsibility that it instills. That's a very, very important point. Rajat sir has been, I think, Odisha's brightest star, you know, to get such a big laurel for the country, and he has been personally mentoring Ashwath, who won the gold medal. So, sir, how was this journey for Ashwath? How did he become responsible? What are the changes you saw? And I think this is for the students also to see that it's not only about winning a gold medal, it's the entire journey, the process which is very important. So, Rajat sir, please update us about that.
So, thank you so much. So, good afternoon to all. WorldSkills term also, it was completely new for me when I started this journey in 2018. So in 2018 January, first I got to know about this WorldSkills term. Before that also I was not being aware about. I got a letter from Odisha Skill Development Authority to organize 3 skills in our academic institutions. And that time I got to know Odisha Skills 2018 is going to happen. And this will be the gateway for the WorldSkills. Then I saw the website, what exactly the WorldSkills is. There one sentence was written, it was written that time. Learning new skills can change your life. So if you are going to learn new skills, definitely you are going to get something. So after that, with A4 size printout, myself and my colleagues, we visited different department. We put notice in all the notice board, and there we have put that you are not going to invest a single rupee being a competitors. The registration is free, the training is free, everything will be free. Only part is you should have some motivations, you should have some courage to participate. So from that part, I have started. So Ashwath also, he was student of my university. So he was also quite motivated that time. So he started this registration process. Odisha Skill 2018 also, it was very good, well organized by the Odisha government in 2018 during April, May, I think. After that, it has a step-by-step procedure. Once you qualify to the state level, you have to go to the regional level, national level, then finally you will be selected. Only one candidate will be selected to represent the country in that particular skills for WorldSkills. So in this way, our journey had started. So like student, they have various steps. Being expert also, we have various steps. Because directly, you cannot be expert for WorldSkills. You have to appear for some examinations. We have capacity building workshops. We have some access programs. We have to secure 100% to represent the country, because we are representing India at global platform. So we are also getting a lot of knowledge through these processes, starting with selection of candidate, studying their psychology, whether they will continue for the next 2 years or not. So because skill is 50%, remaining part also they have 50%, like their stress handling capacity, that travel, because they have to travel to different part of the globe. So like that, my journey has started. So now I'm very happy that it is a proud moment when your competitor, you'll be recognized by your competitor. Now whenever I'm going that, all are telling that now Rajat, he is the mentor of Ashwath. So that is the greatest part in your life. Thank you.
Very, very nice, sir. I think this is such a proud feeling for all the teachers and all the parents. I think a lot of us are parents. When we get recognized by our child's success, that's the biggest thing to happen. And I think Rajat sir very nicely mentioned that 50% is skills. And I think I remember when I was working in Boston Consulting Group, we heard this saying that, we don't hire for skills, we hire for attitude. Now this attitude word has been misunderstood or, used in a, acha soft skills padha lijiye, English bolna sikha lijiye, and wo ho jata hai. But I think the whole journey of WorldSkills, we now understand that it grooms you totally, grooms you holistically. So I will again go back to Ruchi and ask this question that the topic was benefits of WorldSkills. So WorldSkills, we understand, it's a skill competition, it's a global, as Abhinav sir also mentioned, it's a global platform. But I want to ask very specifically, what is unique in WorldSkills? What is there in WorldSkills which we say that it really benefits skill development? I understand it is very granular or something like that. So what is there in WorldSkills which enables skill development or which sets a framework for organizations to, impart, and hence the skill development will follow? So some thoughts on that.
I think, like Rajat sir also rightly mentioned, 50% is something else. So I think when I got associated with this entire journey of WorldSkills, this is my thought that I feel that mindset comes when you participate for WorldSkills, and that in turns prepares you for the journey that is going to come ahead of you, be it in your life, in your job, or anywhere else. Because that mindset shift, when you feel that you are the best of your country, but when you go there, there are 86 more people who are the best of their country, and you have to stay grounded and stay humble, and still not come under pressure, don't get demotivated, handle those crises, be your best. So I think it prepares you automatically for that entrepreneurial mindset also, because these are actually daily life challenges. Once you graduate, once you are into the real life, these are the challenges we face every day. So any competition of such scale, I think gives you a platform where you can experience those things. And as an expert, it's our responsibility that in journey, we prepare and we change that mindset. And I think you were also talking about attitude. So yes, it is misunderstood, but I think mindset is the right word for it. That mindset change cannot happen in a day. It has to happen over a period of time. And for youth these days, I think if they can learn these skills, if they can hone these skills during the journey, during the preparation, then that is the best gift they can have for themselves. And if they can pass it on to the next generation or to the surrounding people. So I think we might not realize when we are a part of that journey, but like Rajat sir also said, it not only grooms the participants, it also is a learning for us as an experts as to what we can do better. Even today when we sit, and I talk to like my other counterparts of international fraternity, so the one underlying thought everyone has is, we all know that skilling will empower our economy, but let's focus on how, what small portion or contribution you can provide to that. And this entire journey, yes, the mindset changes, it empowers you, it enables you for the life to come. And those skills that you learn, they will live with you for the rest of the lives. And I think because now these days economy is also changing. Most of the people, they don't want to be the standard or they don't want to go for those conventional jobs. They want to do something of their own. So, those mindsets you need to inculcate, because nobody is born with those skills. You learn them over the period of time. And I think such competitions, such trainings are a means to achieve those, that mindset change.
Thank you. Very succinctly and nicely said. I think the benefits of WorldSkills are all clear. It's not only about a holistic development that happens, you develop infrastructure as well, you need resources, you need mentors like Abhinav, Ruchi and Rajat to be with you. And I think one thing which I feel, since I am also associated with these competitions, that if we can build a culture of skill competitions, I think that is very important, because these competitions can be translated into skill development using technology. And I think SCGJ is a prime example of, as Arpit sir also mentioned, how each student within a period of probably 2-3 weeks between the 2 selection tests that happened, immediate skill development happened, because these competitions, I believe, are assessed in a very granular manner. Now, when this input is given to these students, they exactly know what is my weakness and what is my strength. And imagine if such competitions, madam, for example, in the state of Odisha, imagine this competition, we are celebrating 75th year of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Why can't we have 75 skill competitions? And each student, I am told, I think we'll see the felicitation. This will be the first competition and the first skill council who will not only be giving a certificate, they will also be giving a detailed performance analysis report, so that these students know how I can develop, where do I lack. So I think WorldSkills has a huge potential. We would conclude by asking one last question to all our experts, and that is about industry. So what is, and we'll start with Rajat sir, what has been industry's response to the level of trainings where you give through WorldSkills, how they are industry ready, how they are job fit? What was industry's response after Odisha gained such a successful stint at WorldSkills?
Industry sponsorship is much more required because WorldSkills now 84 countries are there. So globally, what are the new innovations are coming? First, they are implementing in the WorldSkills program. For an example, for water technology, Festo is the WorldSkills partner. So globally, whatever the new things they are adopting, immediately they are putting it in the next year. So it is new for all the countries, new for all the segments, industries, and academic institutions. Industry support is required from very beginning because we have to work with their components, we have to work with their technologies. So, and they have to also sponsor in specifically sending the student to different part of the globe. But for water technology specifically, I can tell we are getting continuous supports from our industry partners like ADIRO, Festo, and sector skill councils, specifically SCGJ, the state government. So we are getting complete support, and as it is second time we are going to participate, we are now having some experience because initially when we had participated, it was completely new. So the best part is we have some experience, but again things are changing because WorldSkills, the best part is there will be some secret item. Means it will not be 100% know about the technologies. There will be 4 days competitions, 20 hours competitions. The student, they have to work, but there will be some secret items. 30% secret things will be there. So if the competitor can complete that part, then definitely he will be the winner. So that is the best part.
Very nice. Abhinav sir, you are coming from the renewable energy sector. So what do you think if such level of trainings happen and you're talking about a holistic development, feedback being given to the students, do you think RE industry would be encouraging to offer jobs and things like that? What is your take?
It's a very nice question. First of all, let me give you one study here. MIT, I believe everybody is aware about the university MIT. They done a complete research. If you invest 1 million in renewable energy, you generate around 14 jobs, 1-4. But if you invest 1 million in coal or any of the thermal way of generation, you generate only 4 jobs. So very first thing is you are generating more jobs if you are diversifying towards the renewable energy, number one. Sir, if you have, a world-class people, because renewable energy is 90% electrical energy. Electrical engineering is there. So if you are going with the world-class electrical installation in your country, this is the one of the best thing you can do for the country. अभी आप हमारे देश में घरों में जाके देखें बिजली की फिटिंग कैसी है. आपको 99% जो बड़े अच्छे विलास हैं उनमें कभी भी इलेक्ट्रिकल ड्राइंग नहीं मिलेगी. But if you go to the countries like Oman, Australia, USA, because I am doing the installation in Oman, Malaysia, Australia, मेरा लगभग सभी जगह मैंने खुद installation किए हैं. They will give you the drawings. So this is your wire diagram, and you can do the installations accordingly. But India में ऐसा कभी नहीं होता. So this is the basic difference. What मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर ये culture develop हुआ वर्ल्ड स्किल्स जैसी चीज़ें, रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी उसमें आती है, तो भारत के लिए ये बहुत अच्छा होगा. बिकॉज सी 500 गीगावाट्स ऑफ रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी. देखिए सर, ये बहुत सरल कैलकुलेशन है. 140 टेरावाट आवर इज द जनरेशन इफ यू हैव 100 गीगावाट ऑफ कैपेसिटी. अगर आप 100 गीगावाट के सोलर प्लांट लगाएं तो 140 टेरावाट आवर आपको मिलेंगे. इंडिया का टोटल जो कंजम्पशन है वो 1400 टेरावाट आवर है. मतलब अगर आप 100 किलोवाट के प्लांट लगाते हैं तो 10% एनर्जी जनरेट कर पाएंगे. एंड डू यू नो व्हाट इज द इंक्रीज इन द डिमांड एवरी ईयर? इट्स 5%. भारत में हर साल 5% तो इंक्रीज इन द डिमांड है. सो 50 गीगावाट पर ईयर सोलर प्लांट लगते भी रहें तो कभी भी टारगेट अचीव नहीं होगा, क्योंकि डिमांड तो बढ़ी रही है ना. नाउ यू कैन गेज द साइज ऑफ द मार्केट.
Need probably for the manpower, skilled manpower.
Correct. 100 गीगावाट आप इसको कहते हैं 100 गीगावाट टारगेट. मैं कहता हूं 5 लाख करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट है. अभी कैसा लगा? 5 लाख करोड़. अब उसमें से अभिनव शुक्ला 50 करोड़ तो कमाएगा लाइफ स्पान. दिस इज माई टारगेट. इट कुड बी सन एडिसन रिफ्रेक्स का टारगेट हो सकता है 500 करोड़. सबके अपने अपने टारगेट हैं. So when we go for the entrepreneurship development and all, हम यही सारी बातें बताते हैं. देखने का.
So this is very, very encouraging. I think so. It is a very, very nice discussion, and at the benefits of WorldSkills, I feel that WorldSkills has shown us one of the means of skill development. If policy makers can have such competitions, develop a culture where we do it more often, the academia can produce, learn how trainings can happen, and build up an infrastructure. And if industry is ready to absorb those people, I think all the three should come together, so the benefits are obvious. We will not need to have another panel discussion to tell what are the benefits of WorldSkills. Thank you so much, Abhinav ji, Ruchi ji, and Rajat sir. Thank you so much for your time. Any questions anyone has, please grab them over the lunch that we have after this function, and they'll be more than happy to answer those questions. Thank you everyone.
Thank you very much.
And thanks to all the WorldSkills experts for sharing their thoughts. Moving on to the next segment, ladies and gentlemen, it's time that we recognize the effort of all the stakeholders who have been part of the renewable energy preparation journey for WorldSkills. And let me give you a picture of how Sector Skill Council for Green Job shortlisted these 5 students and who is going to move forward to represent India at the international stage. To select the candidate who would be representing India in the upcoming WorldSkills competition, SCGJ, in collaboration with National Skill Development Corporation and its partner, conducted district, state, and national level competitions under the umbrella of India Skills Competition. During this year-long journey, the Council collaborated with members from industry, domain master trainers, former WorldSkills experts, and academic institutions to craft a technology-centric, outcome-based strategy for mentoring the candidate holistically for the upcoming WorldSkills competition. Out of 987 candidates, 5 were selected to undergo a skill transformational journey, followed by a 3 selection test to identify a candidate who would be representing India at the WorldSkills. Taking the average of 3 selection tests over the period of months, we would be now declaring the results. So hold your breath, but before that, I'd like to share how this felicitation would be different from the ones which we usually witness at a lot of the skill competitions. And citing a personal example, most of the time when I was in college, I participated in a skill competition. I came 10th and my friend came first. I had no idea that how I can improve and get the first position next time. It was always a photo clicking session and everyone went home. But how SCGJ has done things differently in this skill competition is something which I'm going to walk to you about. For the first time in the history of skill competition, we would not only hand over awards to the students, but also an individualized performance analysis report which highlights students' strengths and weaknesses and would help them work on their skills. this would translate into actual skill development. And this is how this training has been different, and the felicitation is going to be different. To hand over the award and reports to the students, I would call on stage our chief guest, Srimati Renuprava Nayak ji, on the stage. Please, ma'am, join us on stage. I request the audio personnel to please play some background music while we hand over the awards to the students. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us on stage. Let me now call the students in the rank of the order and how they have fared in this selection test. The 5th position has been secured by Roshan Kumar from Bihar. And I'd like Roshan to come on stage to receive his award and the report. Round of applause, everyone. That's a report of the performance analysis handed over to Roshan to help him improve in the further competition. The world is changing and so is India, and we see women everywhere participating and performing. A huge round of applause for Shweta. Calling on the 3rd position candidate, and the 3rd position has been secured by Abhishek Kumar Anand from Bihar. Abhishek, request you to please come on stage. And we wish you all the best for the forthcoming competitions next year. The 2nd position has been secured by Pragdesh NR from Tamil Nadu. Wait is over as we call on stage the candidate who has secured the 1st position and would be representing India at the WorldSkills. And I'd like to call on stage Shivam Chauriwar from Madhya Pradesh, who has secured the 1st position. Congratulations, Shivam. Thank you, Shivam, and congratulations. I'll request you to just hold on, Shivam, and come back on stage. And I'll request all the other candidates to come on stage for a group photograph with our chief guests. Thank you, ma'am. You may please take your seat. Thank you, everyone. We are expecting our second chief guest to join in some time. Meanwhile, I request Shivam Chorivar to please settle yourself first and come on stage and share about your training experience in brief to our guests here. Shivam, please. I know this is very impromptu for you, but it's very important for people to know about your experience. And on behalf of everyone, you tell them about the kind of exposure that you have got and what opportunities are there in front of you in terms of jobs as well. So please come on stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Shivam. I am from Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal. I am very, very excited for the upcoming WorldSkills. This has been a very wonderful journey for me. I would like to thank all the people involved in this process of finalizing and training us for this competition. WorldSkills has been a very important part of my life for last 1 year. It has absorbed me and changed me in a very different manner. Like before this, I was not very focused on which field I want to be, where I could make a career, or in which sector I will be joining. Renewable energy, really, I am now very optimistic about it, that I will be pursuing a career in renewable energy. So in terms of jobs, I will be looking for to get absorbed in renewable energy and put all the knowledge and training which I have received in this field. And Rajat sir said one thing: a skill can change your life. It changed mine, and it will change for many people who will be trying for WorldSkills for the next. And I hope that the participation of all the students, come forward, and more number of people recognize the importance of skills in development of India and put forward. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Abhinav sir. Thank you, Arpit sir. Thank you, SCCJ, everyone, for the amazing training. And I would like to end with.
Now I'd like to call on stage the female candidate, Shweta. So we have with us our chief guest, Shri Sanjib Kumar Rout with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge round of applause. I request Arpit sir to please felicitate sir with a bouquet as he has joined us. Dear candidate, I believe it's just an idea which came to my mind since Sanjib sir has just joined us. It would be a good idea if I can call Sanjib sir on stage and the candidates can bring their trophy and reports for a photo op. Please. And we'll continue with our felicitations ceremony because there's a long list of guests that we need to felicitate for this event, in this event. So please, in the center. Everyone, please come with your trophy and the reports. Sanjeev sir, just to brief you, we had a panel discussion a few minutes back. There is a second panel discussion planned. We have handed over the candidates the trophy after and the awards and the ranking after they have gone through a rigorous 3 selection test process, and we have declared the winners. So all the winners will be joining you on stage. Please. So I'll just take the name of the winners. The 5th position has been received by Roshan Kumar. Roshan, please come up on stage. The 4th position has been secured by Shweta Sneha Das from Odisha. The 3rd position has been secured by Abhishek K. Anand from Bihar. The 2nd position has been secured by Pragdesh NR from Tamil Nadu. And the 1st position has been secured by Shivam Chauriwar from Madhya Pradesh. Congratulations to everyone. So I'll request you to please stay on stage as we felicitate the other industry members. And I'll also request our chief guest, Srimati, ma'am, please join us on stage. Srimati Renuprava Nayak on stage. Everyone, a huge round of applause. For calling out the name of the guest, I will call on stage Mr. Prem Prakash Bharti from Skill Council for Green Jobs. Sir, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Ram. So, good afternoon, and we would like to felicitate our industry partner, Jackson. And for that, I would like to invite, on behalf of Jackson, Mr. Arpit Sharma on stage to receive the award on behalf of Jackson Group. So next we have our technology partners. So we would like to felicitate our technology partner, Kurentia, and I would like to call on stage Mr. King Ram, Assistant Vice President, Smart and Beryl, to receive this award. Like to felicitate our knowledge partner, Innodust Techsolution Private Limited, and for that I would like to invite on stage Mr. Gaurav Agrawal to receive this award. Our next knowledge partner, Sabre Technology, I would like to call on stage Mr. Abhinav Shukla, founder Sabre Technology, to receive this award. Next, we have in the journey our knowledge partner, Institute of Solar Power Energy and Vocational Training. I would like to call on stage Mr. Vamsi Krishna, Director, Institute of ICT. We have next knowledge partner, Smart and Beril. I would like to call on stage Mr. Ruchi Parikh, WorldSkills Advisor and Consultant at Smart and Beril. Please go in the water. So next we have our venue partner. We would like to felicitate our venue partner, Innodust Techsolution. I would like to invite on the stage Mr. Sunil Sahu to receive this award. We would like to invite our second venue partner, Swami Vivekananda School of Engineering and Technology. I would like to call on stage Mrs. Sarmista Jaina to receive this award, Vice Chairperson of this institution. Thank you. Thank you so much, sis. And Ram, over to you.
Also like to felicitate our subject matter expert, I think, who has been the main engine in terms of training and upskilling the students. And I'd like to call on stage all of them together so we can also have a group photograph. Mr. Abhinav Shukla, Mr. Vamsi Krishna, Mr. Prem Bharti, and Mr. Sunil Sahu. Please, sir, join us on stage. Hand over the awards after towards the end of the session. Thank you so much. Thank you, our chief guest. You may please take your seat, and then we can proceed with our next section of this event. It is around the corner, but before we proceed to our lunch, there are a few items that we would like to cover as part of the event. And moving on to the next segment of the event, we have a panel discussion on the topic, Measures to make Odisha the skill capital of India. And for this discussion, I would like to call on stage our industry and academia members. First, I would like to call on stage Mr. Praveen Saxena, who is the mentor of change at Niti Aayog and CEO at Smart and Beril. So please join us on stage. I'd like to call on stage Mr. Bharat Chabra, Head of Change Management and L&D at TP Central Odisha Distribution Limited. And lastly, I would like to call on stage Mr. Vamsi Krishna, who is the Director at Institute of Solar Power Energy and Vocational Training. To moderate the session, I would like to call on stage Mr. Sunil Sahu, Co-founder and CEO, Innodust Techsolution. I would like, sir, to take the proceeding forward.
So, good afternoon all. So, as we all know that the topic is making Odisha the skill capital of Odisha. In the past, we have seen that Odisha has tremendous potential and achieved a lot of feat in sports, and we call it as a sports capital of Odisha. We are trying to do this in terms of hockey and other games. So, if you look at the history, then this time in the national competition, India Skill 2022, Odisha bagged 51 medal, and which is highest in the country. I think it needs a clap from all of you. 10 gold, 18 silver. So include, and second was Maharashtra with 31 model. If you see that, it is just double of Maharashtra, the second spot. So today's, during this panel discussion, we have all the dignitaries from the industry, from the training institute. So my first question is to Bharat Chavda sir. Bharat Chavda sir is the head L&D of Tata Power. He has tremendous experience in Delhi because Tata Power, as all of you are aware, that acquired all discoms of Odisha. So he's here since last 2 years. So he's looking after all the youth, those who are working in this distribution sector, and he has seen the skills of the youth. So sir, my first question to you, how you see Odisha to progress in the path of skill capital of India?
Thank you. I believe change is the only constant thing. And things are changing, skills are changing, our lives are changing, our technology adoption is changing much faster. Now, how do we adopt to that change? For that, we have the enablers like Skill Council for Green Jobs, National Skill Development Corporation, and specific sector skill councils. If we look at in the recent past, if we look at the Odisha, I do not know much about the other states, how they are doing it, but we see the kind of visionary leadership with the state government here. We have Mrs. Renuprava Nayak, we have the OSDA chairman and the OSDA director and everybody. This state is having the skill vision for the future years. I have not seen in the other states such kind of a thing that the state is very actively participating in writing the skill vision. And there was a communication from the OSDA chairman, the chief secretary office, to involve all the head of departments to come and discuss how the skills are going to be required in the future, so that we prepare our youth for that. So that is really, really remarkable. My compliments to the leadership here in the state government and the OSDA authorities. There is a vision, but when we look back at the current situation, a lot of things have been done in the past, but when I look at specific in the power distribution sector, there is a huge, huge gap. Unfortunately, the previous companies or the I don't know whether should I talk about that or not, but when we look at in the state government, how does a person get into a government job? See, there's a huge competition, thousands of people employ, and just few handful of them get into the government job. Now, when we have the best of best in the state, now what do we do after that? Is there any skill enhancement happening? Is there progressively training and development happening? Is some technology adoption and things like are being facilitated to our people? Maybe not that much. That much is required. So when we look at the power distribution here, we are trying to bring in the best of technologies in the power distribution from whatever exchange programs that we have the entire world. Like Tata Power is the only utility in the country which is part of a global intelligent utilities coalition network. A network of coalition of 14 best utilities across the world, and we are very actively participating with them and see whatever best we can bring which is related to us, which is relevant in our context. So long way to go, and my compliments to the state government leadership, and we are very actively participating with all the stakeholders to ensure that we have all the skill that is required in the state and also the skill that can enable other states as well. So we are working on that path. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Praveen Saxena, you are the CEO of a tech company, Smart and Beryl. And we heard you in many platforms saying that the skill competition is the backbone of WorldSkill. When we talk about skill development, when we talk about all-round development of a student, then you always say that skill competition and making it with a technology is very, very important. You are in line with a lot of school, college, university, even in fact, you are talking with the UK government for enabling these kind of technologies and competition-based skill developments in all the technical firms or companies. So what would be your views? Can you brief that, what it is?
Thank you, Mr. Sahu, and good afternoon once again to all the members present here. I think I was very much intrigued and happy to when I was told that I'm a panelist on the topic how to make Odisha the skill capital of India. I think if we date back to the times of Ashoka, which city was chosen the capital? When we say capital, there are different elements which all have to come together to make some city a capital. Now, what are those elements? This needs to be infrastructure, this needs to be training, if we call, and this should be absorption of those people. The three things should fall in line. Now, I think, Mr. Sahu, all the people who are sitting in front of us are probably much more experienced and they have, walked that journey. But honestly, why even we are having this discussion today? Because something is lacking. We have infrastructures, we have members from Trident College here, Raman Global University is a classic example of having over 25, 26 centers of excellence. So infrastructure is sorted. That is not a problem. Then we come to about making people industry ready, identifying the skill gap as sir mentioned. I remember my grandfather talking, he was the chairman of the Industry Academia Cell back in the 1980s. And then also this topic was there, bridging the Industry Academia skill gap. So it's nothing new that we are getting here. We have all policymakers have been coming. They have been writing this paper. Industry, the academia cannot pace up with the change in industry, technology is changing. They're all mute concepts now. Now, what we feel specifically sitting in the WorldSkills fraternity, that it is a globally accepted concept now that skill development should unbundle and rebundle itself with a competition-centric approach. Now, when you get a competition-centric approach, WorldSkills is a classic example where they not only generate that enthusiasm, you are making, the biggest challenge the Prime Minister also mentioned was how do we make vocational skills aspirational? Today, unfortunately, I believe that in our country, the skills are not looked up with respect. I want my son to become an engineer, an IAS, a doctor, but nobody would raise their hand and say, my son is a very good plumber. Why? So, skill competitions are a medium which has been accepted globally. Why? As the experts also mentioned, Rout sir, before you just came in, the experts had a good discussion on how it is benefiting. Skill competitions, I believe, can be translated into skill development by analyzing the performance of the candidate, creating a feedback loop which goes to the candidate, and these 5 students are a classic example of how they improved. So I think what I feel is we need to scale up this culture, and to scale up anything, we need technology. So today there are lots and lots of countries. Russia is a classic example before the war set in. They have introduced technological measures to scale up skill competitions. I was talking to the head of Patrick Daniels, he's the head of WorldSkills UK, and they are saying that every day in my school, I will have a skill competition. Why at 6 o'clock my child cannot take part in a graphic design competition and get a feedback and improve and come back the next day? This is how you internalize competencies. I think somebody mentioned in the discussion, I think Rajat sir mentioned that about the holistic development, crisis management, decision making, problem solving, time management. These cannot be taught having an emotional intelligence lecture sitting in this hall. So skill competitions give you that mechanism. How can a state like Odisha do more skill competitions? By adopting technology, having a competition management systems in place, which reduces the work power. And Rout sir, before you came in, I take pride in saying that today was probably the first occasion, I would like to ask Madam as well, each student was handed over their individualized, personalized performance report. So somebody who has, a Roshan who has come 5th is not demotivated. He knows next time when I have to do, these are the 5 things I need to prepare. I have not seen in my career a felicitation ceremony handing over a performance report. So this is what technology can bring about. Now, once you have this culture in place, you have the infrastructure in place, you are telling the candidates, they will be motivated. Today, probably Roshan would be a little disappointed I did not come first, but today he knows, Roshan, that you have a report in front of you and tomorrow you can shine because this is not the end of the world. So technology not only can help you do these things more, they can make you do these things more effectively and hence contribute in the skill development. And that is how a state like Odisha, which is so forward-looking, I feel that technology component in terms of harnessing data, processing data, and giving feedback to the students was missing. And I think if we can adopt technology measures to bring this piece of the puzzle, I think rest all is sorted in the state like Odisha. Thank you.
Okay. So because we have very diversified audience from the industry, from the academics, so let me tell a little bit about what this new technology, what Mr. Saxena was telling, why Querencia and how it has actually developed the quality of students. If you talk about the traditional examination system, then we provide question paper and we tell the students that you write down the answers. So again, we would go and cross-check their question paper. That was the traditional method. But when we talk about skill development, international skill competition, world skill, then this is not the actual method which is working. So then what? Then we have a competition information management system. What we do, taking an example of solar installation, then first we write down the questions. First we prepare their questions in terms of skill. For example, installation of solar module. Then our one question would be whether they have placed the mounting structure properly or not, whether they tighten the knot bolt properly or not. If it is yes, then I'll give 1 mark. If it is no, then give a 0 mark. So it is, everything is online. So you go and check whether the wires and cables are properly connected or not. If it is yes, give them 1. If it is not yes, then give them 0. Now this is one type of question. Another type of question which comes in the WorldSkills is, there are 2 to 3 judges. So everybody has a different angle of looking at the students. For example, there is a candidate who has weared all the PPE kit, then I'll give them 3 marks. If it is not weared, if he has left putting gloves or wearing helmet, then I'll give them 0 mark or 1 mark. It is up to me. So one or other judges, they will be differentiated by some marks. They will have different opinion into looking at the candidate. They might be differ by just 1 mark. So this is how it is very transparent. We see the things. When we see the things, then we provide them the mark. Now coming, once the examination is complete, let's suppose there are 3 judges. All they have entered the marks looking at the candidates, how they perform. Finally, what they will do, we provide a detailed analysis report. That this is the point where we cut the mark because you have not tightened the knot bolt properly. This is the area where we got less mark or probably 0 mark. So it is very transparent. And also there is a graphical presentation. So the candidate will see in the selection test 1, this is the mark I have received. This is my progress. And this is the area where I'm regularly doing mistakes, connecting the wrong wires and cables. So this is how it gives an opportunity, giving your feedback to the students, how they can improve. So I think that this is a tremendous tool that's been developed by Smart and Beryl. And I believe all the institutions, colleges, university, if they will do very transparently this kind of examination system, this will boost the confidence of the students also, because they know that everything is transparent. I know that my result, this is my question. So this is my opinion. Thank you. So now coming to Bamsi Krishna sir, a brief introduction. He is the managing director of ISPTV, the first solar institute of India. He is alumni of IIT Madras. Sir, you also are an expert in RE. So my question to you is, like, all of the time, you know, you coordinate with state government in various matters, and Odisha, because this holds this selection test for WorldSkills in RE, you have been many times into state of Odisha. So how you see the mindset of the state government, the youth, and the institutes here, because you run an institute, there is also other institute in the state of Odisha. So how you see the energy?
Thank you for that brief introduction, and then thank you for the opportunity. With regarding to Odisha, first of all, you know, I should appreciate the government's effort, you know, in creating that WorldSkills Center. You know, it's a fantastic center. How many of you have visited it? That's my question. Okay. I think all of us should visit because, you know, for people who believe in skills, it's going to be a pilgrimage tour. So please visit it, because that's the kind of infrastructure that I've seen, which shows the government's clear intention to empower the kids of the future with the right skills. That's the first thing, first step. Second step, how many of you have visited C.V. Raman Global University? Rout, sir, I bow my head with a lot of respect for the kind of dedication and the investments that he made with a very huge vision. You know, the vision for being, he's an individual, he's not, you know, the government, which has very deep pockets, right? There are limitations. But even with those limitations, he has not hesitated. When you have these kind of people who are dedicated to skills and infrastructure that is ready, I don't see any shortfall at all. Only thing that is required is, as Praveen rightly said, and, you know, supported by everybody here, the competitions. Why should there be a basketball competition at a village level and a mandal level and a district level every 6 months or 1 year? Why not a skill competition at every 3 months in every village and mandal and, you know, district level? Why should there be a specific competitions only to pick up candidates for your WorldSkills? Why can't we pick up candidates on a regular basis, on a day-to-day basis, you know, from your institutions, from your own, this thing? Why is there no inter-school, inter-college, inter-university competitions in skills? These are the footsteps that all of us, irrespective of the states, and especially Odisha, with the kind of infrastructure and with the kind of people who are dedicated to skills you have, you should start looking at. That's the opportunity that you have. And why will Odisha not be the leader? You know, I go somewhere into a restaurant in Hyderabad, I find a DDUGKY student serving me food from Odisha. My chef is from Odisha. My plumber is from Odisha, right? From Behrampur, I get a lot of plumbers in Hyderabad. I get a lot of people, electricians. There are so many people who are there. And world is the stage that is opening up for the entire youth of this country, not only Odisha. And to make that clear, you have all the right tools. Only thing is, you know, you need to plan and execute it systematically, like an operation, how you conduct, you know, how does a thoracic surgeon does an operation on a heart to keep you alive? No? That is the kind of dedication and precision with which you should start doing it, then Odisha will be national capital.
Thank you, sir, for your support and suggestions. So my next question to be Bharat Chavda, sir. Sir, you had visited almost all places of the state of Odisha, all the districts, and you interacted with the employees. So we all, when we talk about skill, we talk about the students. to make them employable, to provide them skill training. But you see the people, those who are working in the field. So how you find the joes with the employees to adopt skill? How they are ready to be molded in terms of getting the skills, because most of the times you must have seen that they're not up to the level, or they're not skilled up to the level in terms of certification, in terms of getting the required skills, in terms of communication, in terms of technical skills. You hold a lot of training programs statewide. So how you see the enthusiasm of the employees or the candidates?
See, if we look at the Odisha state, we have our own culture here. People are technically competent, but they are not very so kind of opening up to speak big about themselves. They don't speak big about themselves. They don't even let others know that what kind of talent that they have. If we look at last year, Tata Power came into Odisha in 2020 June at the peak of COVID. Then we had that cyclone Yas. Now, during that cyclone Yas, the state government and this time the Tata Power management and everybody participated together, and there was very good preparations this time. We've seen the Energy Secretary or the Chief Secretary very regularly taking an update and working on knee-deep water to see the readiness and the preparedness of the people in the response time. Last year also, the UN made a comment that the kind of disaster management and the response mechanism that the Odisha has is best in the world. That speaks loud, that speaks big about the people and their talent and their capabilities. Maybe some way in our power distribution area, we have seen that maybe there is not a systematic or a structured development or an orientation to technology. Maybe. In our area, it is quite visible there, and we are working in that direction. Our first priority at this stage is to ensure that close to 25,000 the contractor employees which are working with us on the O&M maintenance, to make them competent, give them a structured training that they remain safe, they do the work safe, they make the people also safe with the electrical network. So that is our first priority, and going forward we have plans to see that how do we do a structured skill enhancement for them under the Power Sector Skill Council, and probably in the near future the Skill Council for Green Jobs as well, that how do we promote and be the Odisha state ready for the EV thing that is happening and the ambitious target on the renewable that the India government has committed. So we are working together to make this progress together. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Sir, my next question to Praveen, sir. Sir, honestly speaking, when we talk about skill development and the people, those who are working in the skill fraternity, what we have seen in Odisha, that those who have done tremendous work in the field of skill is, one is WorldSkills Center, CV Raman Global University, and SDI, Skill Development Institute. Those who have put a lot of tremendous effort in terms of building infrastructure, building, having a vision to upskill the students in the global level so that they could be placed, their wage can be high. You know, we heard one time Sanjib sir saying that how it has changed drastically the life of students on their package, pay package. Earlier what was, and because of it has a lot of, means more than 25, 30 center of excellence when they are preparing for world skill automatically, whether they win the medal or not, because they are under the process. So when they're skilled, the companies, industries are coming with a very high package to the students. They're offering that, yes, we can offer you this much of package. And not only one, two, they're having multiple offers in the terms of package. So what would be your suggestion to other institutes, other organizations, those who are in this skill development field, but because you have observed many, to adopt so that also they can come and they can see and they can walk on the path that has been created?
I think this sparks a very interesting thought in my mind, how other institutes, and I would like to pick from what Mr. Chabra just mentioned. He said that, he mentioned about the culture of Odisha. He said that we people are like this, right? And I'll quantify that. The people of Odisha are very humble. I remember, be it Ashwath, who won the gold medal, he came to meet us at the minister's residence in Delhi when we were having a function. Sir, I am Shashank's friend. You know, people at that person who would have, you know, the success gone in their head. They're very humble. Now, what I want to say is, what does this reflect? That Mr. Chabra knows Odisha. I want to ask all the academic people who are coming here, when an industry visits your campus, what do you tell? Ma'am, you must have heard we have 20 centers of excellence. We have this many acres of lush green campus. Am I a real estate person who has come to hire you? What do you know about the individual? Sir mentioned about Odisha. Please tell me what is the emotional quotient of this particular child. This child is very good in problem solving but lacks decision making. What do you know about that child? So if institutions like other institutions other than C.V. Raman, I feel infrastructure is a given, resources are a given. Please start, let's personalize education. Let's make it individualized. And that's why I say technology plays a very important role. And Arpit sir would be soon sharing, I was very happy, I'll not steal his thunder, but Skill Council of Green Jobs contacted a few industry. And the industry asked, what do we know about these children? Obviously, they contacted them for some jobs. And the question that was asked to Arpit sir was, can you tell me something about these students? And Arpit sir presented each of those industries with this report. So this is who this child is. And I will pause here because I will not like to steal his thunder. You will very soon see the impact of technology to personalize education and solve a very big problem कि नौकरी कैसे लगती है, सब बात नौकरी का है. How do you get jobs? So I feel if all the other skill institutions can spend money not only in skilling, which is rightly said by Mr. Chabra, that is a prerequisite. We have been doing it for years. What next? Present industry with the knowledge of an individual student. Today, C.V. Raman can publish a report on all 3,000 students. This is who they are. And my only suggestion to Odisha would be measure, monitor, analyze, and present the trend of development to the industries. Jobs will come to you. The students will not have to go to a naukri.com. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, Bamsi sir, one of my finest questions to you, because there are some aspiring entrepreneurs who are looking forward to start their training company sooner or later. So you have a training company, your first training company in solar, and you had spent around more than a decade in skilling. So how do you feel it is very, feasible and comfortable, doing the commercial in terms of skilling or WorldSkill? So to do business or to have a commercial in the skill element. And number two is that how you see Odisha as a field where a training partner can come comfortably, do some engagements with the governments or private or market mode, and sustain in terms of commercials, and seeing the skill development is happening on all around the state.
Yeah. See, when I entered into skilling, I came with passion. It was not money which was driving, because I was in a very good position and I resigned and then came back. And I wanted to give back to my country. So that's how I came into skilling. And yes, at that point of time, the market was not matured. We were the first one, so the first one has us all, birth pranks. You have to clear the road, you have to, make a road, and then you have to walk on it. So that's the kind of an effort. Now it is not like that. it is very, very refined and defined. I would call it refined and defined because, you just have to start your journey. That's it. That's the starting point. The road is already there. The sector skill councils are there, the curriculums are there, everything is there. And then you have to decide what is the kind of business model that you're going to adopt, whether it is a market mode or it's a government-sponsored programs, what it is. And then final destination where you want to join. So it is very remunerative right now. If you go on a market mode program, it is very beneficial for the kids also. And that is the future for this country and for the skilling industry. So if you're, and all those entrepreneurs who want to get into training, and especially skilling, I'm, for my sake, when I always tell my students that when they get into renewable energy, especially, and then they are skilling themselves up, and then when they go into the industry and then start delivering those, benefits of that skilling activity to the industry and enriching their own lives, they are actually Mahatma Gandhis without the dhotis. They are without sacrificing their comforts. They don't need to do any satyagrahas. They don't need to do any kind of, renunciations to whatever they are doing in renewable energy as kids, skilled employees, is actually a contribution to the nation building activity, because whatever targets, let it be the Prime Minister of India or a minister or a chief secretary coming and going in on a stage and on an international forum and then announcing something, is India's commitment. It's a people's commitment that is being announced. It is not an individual's commitment. So when children go and then get into those job roles, when skilling is done properly, the way that we have done, believe me, I'm being there almost for 14 years in the renewable industry, and then when I see the way this WorldSkills training has happened, the new introduction of tools, advanced technologies which are being taught to them, it amazes me, the kind of what these kids are going to take into the industry and the transformation that the industry is going to take from now on is going to be a biggest money maker for the industry. They don't need to spend money on the trainings. If you as a training partner want to become a training partner and entrepreneur in skilling, right time, please jump into it blindfoldedly. Don't even think for a second. Because you are not only going to fill your pockets, but you're also going to do an omen service to this country. And it's a payback time, boss. Come, please come.
Thank you, sir. So my last questions to Bharat Chawda, sir, because we are running short of time. So, sir, when we talk about skill, then as Saxena sir said, that employment is also one of the important parameter where the students get excited, they get motivated, and others also looking at the candidate gets motivated. So how we can bridge the gap, like the council can have multiple ways to connect industry, and industry has multiple ways to connect to council, sector skill councils, in terms of looking like how the students, they have participated in the WorldSkill, how they have groomed, and what is the level of the students has been groomed up to this level. So my question is that how we can see that there is a well communication between the industry and between the WorldSkill competence and sector skill council, so that we see that there is also, we can cater this to in many ways, that they get multiple offers with multiple, handsome package in the hand.
See, it is extremely important, and it is purely a win-win situation for the industry, academia, and the youth, or the employable population of this country. I remember when the specific sector skills councils were made sometime during 2013 ke dauran, when these were formed, and they said that we want to develop some kind of courses and see the gap between what the ITIs or the polytechnics or the colleges are teaching with what the industry requires. At that time, comprehensive work was done, and the outcome is the kind of QPs that you have made out. And if you look at the QPs or the courses which were formed under these sector skill councils, whether Green Council or the Power Sector Skill Council, there's a huge gap between what was being taught and what was there now. So that is extremely important. In our country, we had been working in our silos. Industry wants people who are industry ready, and academia wants to just bring in the numbers and the candidates who are degree and certificate holders. So there's a huge gap, and it's a need of the hour that the collaboration needs to be there. We have a lot of industry or the academia partners which are working together. In our Delhi, in my previous assignments at Delhi, we had a lot of participation from even the polytechnics, from the cluster of innovation and various universities where we were doing Innothon, Hackathon, wherein the industry relevant problems were given to the students that now you work in this direction. Your university, your colleges have given you the foundational knowledge. Now application is in this direction. So it is extremely important that we need to come out of our silos, whether it is industry or the academia, join hands together and create an absolute win-win for everyone. That is the need.
I will take excuse me, I'm taking this opportunity. Sir, I have a request to you, especially. As a startup, why don't you support OSDA and others who are there in the skilling sector in creating this village level, mandal level competitions, and then, why not Tata Power empower them to do those competitions and bring those talents which are untapped. There's so much of talent there, and they need to be brought to the forefront, and then, they become the leaders of change in their locations. See, unless you have some role model, every kid looks at role models, right? See, if I talk about Shweta, Shweta had a role model of Ashwath Narayan, because she is coming from the same college and same university. So everywhere we look up to role models, and creating role models is the job of both academia and the government and also the industry. I request you to join hands with the state and kindly help in this process as a catalyst.
Surely, we'll be very happy for that, and we've been in regular engagement with the OSDA. Mr. Raghu and the principal ma'am is here. We visited a couple of ITIs and the places wherein we can partner and bring in the industry-ready students. So we are working on that direction. We have visited a couple of ITIs. I just got a call from Barhampur principal, Malik Saab. He said, just called up that how do we plan it next? And we are seeing that what best can be done together there are a lot of possibilities, and we are open for that.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your comment.
Praveen sir, just a last quick question to you, then we'll end. Sir, you have seen everything. You had visited a lot of institutions here, and you had seen government system and everything. 3 things in a priority basis we need to do to be into that level, like to be the skill capital of the country.
Yeah, I think probably I am not competent to make those comments in front of the dignitaries coming, but I think I would surely like to share my experience and see what is working. Do more of what you are doing. There are 3 things which should be there in all stakeholders. I repeat, passion, intent, and competence. This is a message to you, my dears, as well, student. Passion, जज्बा होना चाहिए करने का, जो वामसी सर ने बोला कि जुनून होना चाहिए, जज्बा होना चाहिए. And I would personally like to mention, I have been in very close contact with Rout sir as well. He is one person जिनके लिए बोला जाता है जुनून है skill का. That kind of a passion you need. Do anything, be it your personal life, be it your professional life, be it your skills, be it your padhai, be it the way you take care of your parents, passion. Second thing is intent. Renu ma'am with her team is sitting here. Right? She's actively observing. That's the intent. As sir mentioned, WorldSkills Center is an intent, is a reflection of intent. It's not a tick mark activity. That she had to be here, she'll come here for 10 minutes, go away. No, that's not the case. And obviously, it goes without saying, competence has to happen. So I think with these 3 things, plus what I feel, use a lot of technology to personalize skilling. I think that's the only thing which I feel is lacking. Personally speaking, we talk about infrastructure, we talk about resources, we talk about everything else, but we don't talk about scaling. We don't talk about knowing people individually. And all that was said was, the numbers are too many in this country, we can't do it. But I think we can do it with the help of technology. And I'm sure, best wishes to Odisha. It is one of the finest states. I take pride in saying that I have been personally mentoring as part of Niti Aayog as well. A lot of students in Odisha from the Smart India Hackathon, the first position in Smart India Hackathon was our mentee. So I've seen that humility, as sir mentioned, passion, intent, and competence. I think let us do more of it. Let us collaborate. Let us all come together, use technology to make Odisha, to tell Prime Minister, Madam, that India can only become the skill capital of the world provided Odisha becomes the skill capital of India first. So let Odisha drive that. Thank you very much.
Thank you all panelists. So with this, we'll end this panel discussions. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you all the audience.
Huh? So I would tell our people that करे Shanghai की तैयारी, अब की India की बारी. So that should be the spirit.
Thank you so much, our dear panelists. I would now like to invite on stage Mr. Arpit Sharma, sir, COO, Skill Council for Green Job, to declare an important news for all the students and all the dignitaries present here. Sir, I'd like you to grace the podium with your presence, sir. Thank you.
So, before we move ahead, I'll just take 2 minutes of yours. Very interesting kind of a discussion from my side. And then we can push for the lunch. I know all of you, including me, we are hungry. So Odisha is basically a state which has, for which I know, has maximum number of temples and gods, and people have that religious belief. People are mild, people are calm. They worry about God. They think about God. They pray more. So it's a religious state. And all of us are, I believe that, all the people sitting here must be very much aware about Mahabharata, right? So in Mahabharata, if you know, then it's perfect. If you don't know, then we can have a discussion later on this. Dronacharya was the guru of Pandavas and Kauravas. So we have 5 Pandavas here. Duryodhan, oh sorry, how can I make a mistake? So we have 5 Pandavas here: Yudhishthir, Arjun, Bhim, Nakul, and Sahadev. They were all trained by Dronacharya, correct? But there was one Arjun. There was only one Arjun. But do you think that the other 4 Pandavas did not learn anything? No. They were also skilled. But Arjun was one. So what I want to say is that the role of a teacher, the role of a faculty, the role of a trainer should be, and even something like that has been mentioned in the national education policy also. Don't quote me exactly, but the role has been defined in such a way that a teacher should be someone, a faculty should be someone, a trainer should be someone जिसकी वजह से कोई fail ना हो. Arjun तो एक ही होगा, but his responsibility is that everyone should pass. Everyone should pass the examination. I distinctly remember a few lines from Gita when these Pandavas, they were sent for an exile in the forest. So the Gita says there were small lines ki varshon mein van tak ghum ghum, बाधा विघ्नों को चूम चूम, सहधूप धाम पानी पत्थर, पांडव आए कुछ और निखर. So when they came from the exile, वो और निखरे हुए थे, they were shining like gold. It was only because of their master, because of their trainer, Dronacharya. So sir, you mentioned that we should have a skill competition for the kids in Odisha. I think we should have a skills competition for the faculty, for the trainers, If the trainer would be good, only then we would be able to produce good candidates. And it should be across, in my opinion, I'm not the deciding authority, it's just an innovative idea that has come from my side, and trust you me, it has come sitting here only, that we should have 10, 15, 20 colleges. And this is not to demean or insult anyone, that we do a skill competition in a particular domain for various faculties, so that faculties are also able to network with each other. And we give them that feedback mechanism that we have given to the students, so that they can improve. And only then we will be able to produce the finest of children here in skilling. And without taking much of your time, I have a testimony, I have a proof sitting in front of me that we have 5 people who have undergone the training from these 5 gurus, Mr. Abhinav Shukla, Mr. Vamsi Krishna, Mr. Sunil Sahu, Mr. Prem Bharti, and Ruchiji. And these 5 gurus had trained these 5 students out here. And I would be pleased to announce that we have 6 industry who have shown their interest to offer them jobs. I would request the audio-visual person to, so here we have Jackson Group, we have Unicorp Solar. They have recently entered into green hydrogen also, apart from massively installing solar projects. We have Oriana Power, we have Saverth Technologies, we have Enertech, we have Innodust, which has a EPC vertical. And these candidates would soon be interviewed. They would soon be interacting with their HR people, and they would be given jobs so they have shown the interest that they would be recruiting these people. So this is how you change the lives of candidates, and this is how our teachers have changed the lives of the candidates, by not just training them but giving them the right kind of a feedback which made them improve and which make them employable. So thank you so much, teachers. Thank you so much, gurus. All my best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
I'm sure the students who did not come first are now very happy what life holds for them after this event, as they are or they will be interviewed for job opportunities in these companies. Moving forward, we are in the last section of our event, and we have a video message from the CEO of Sector Skill Council for Green Job, Dr. Praveen Saxena. And sir has sent us a video message, and I'd like to play that video for you guys.
Dear participants and friends, I am extremely happy to interact with you in this award ceremony. It has been an outstanding journey with all of you. You have participated with full enthusiasm and zeal, and I have seen how you performed at the nationals. I'm sure your levels have changed and increased with the regular training provided by our experts, and you are now fit to participate in WorldSkills. We have got gold in water technologies, and renewable is one area where I personally feel that we can aspire for gold. I have seen your performance at different levels, and I'm sure you will be able to perform even better when it is a world skill competition. I wish you all the best. I would also like to thank my experts and the team, Skill Council for Green Jobs team, to organize this function and the regular trainings. I would also like to mention that in fact in this journey, not only you have learned, but Skill Council for Green Jobs and our experts have learned a lot as to how we can improve our trainings, our skill trainings for normal students as well. Industry is extremely enthusiastic about it, and in fact I would like to mention that when I discussed with Jackson, they said that they will be very happy to interview all the 5 candidates and offer them job. I wish you all the best in your journey. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would now request and invite Srimati Renuprava Nayak ji to share her remarks on the event. For that, ma'am, I'd like to call you on stage and share your thoughts. Ma'am, please. Can we have a round of applause? We know we are waiting for lunch. That will happen soon, but we'd like to hear ma'am's thoughts on the event. Ma'am, please.
Very good afternoon. It's a really very excited moment for all of us. I'm really very excited having a part of this program arranged by Skill Council for Green Jobs. And really, the entire hall has been ignited and illuminated by the august presence of the alumni and the industry partners and academia, and also from the state level, our deputy principal from the WorldSkills centers, and finally our stars, 5 stars winners, champions in RE. Really, I'm visualizing these 5 stars not only getting getting awards from here, but they are getting awards in WorldSkill Competition 2022. So, from India in RE, I'm dreaming we will get the award. And we are really thankful this August auspicious occasion has been arranged in Odisha. Really, you have really marked. Before this moment, every moment I was dreaming that me along with my WorldSkills Center team are dreaming of our WorldSkills Competition 22 in having just in isolated team. But now I am just seeing, oh, how many people, how many agencies, how many bodies within India, yes, they are also passionate thinking of this WorldSkills competition where our India will come out in flying colors. Why skills? A lot of discussion has been made. I just entered in the skill development department 1 year back in 21. And within this 1 year of my experience in skill development and technical education department, the very passionate component of my work is now WorldSkills competition. Because whenever I joined in this department, before that, I have worked in Panchayat Raj, in revenue, in MSME. Then I also thought, why somebody is poor? Somebody is poor. The simple answer is because he or she lacks skills. So arise the domain of skill development. And skill competition, I appreciate the idea given in this forum, and I am also really thankful to Tata Power, Chhabra sir, in collaboration with state government from Odisha side. We are thinking from last 6 months, along with our Dasar, Chidmoy, Samarendra, really we will start it. We have already strategized the planning, how in regular basis we will take this competition from inter-institutional competition, skill competition, inter-district, regional as well as state level on regular basis. Because the entire globe has become one village in this era of globalization. And India is called one young people country because 40% of our people are within the age group of 15 to 35. So you see, if all these skill forces, if all these human forces will become skilled, then what will be the position of India in globe? And suppose in this skill competition, that will not transform the life of a single student, but this will also transform the society at large. When the people they will contribute to the nation building, to the economic sphere of this country by their skill development, then definitely the GDP and everything relating to the economy will prosper. And suppose in this skill competition, those who will come to the level of the district, definitely they will acquire some set of skills. And those who will come to the regional level or zonal level or state level or national level or finally at the global level, so they will be accumulating skills on the higher grade. So there will be no end in any learning system. Every day the world is in flux and the technology is developing. So accordingly, we have to push the entire youth to be in pace with the technological development, because it has a direct impact with the life. Because the first and foremost thing of the science and technology is to lessen the human burdens, and skill development here plays a vital role. So, from Odisha side, we are really become very enthusiastic and also very passionate, not only for leading in this skill development for the youth of Odisha, but also for India in whatever way it is possible, by collaborating with other state governments, by collaborating with the institutional partners with other states, and also industry partners within Odisha and outside of Odisha and also globe. Because Odisha government is very clear in this front. You all have known, we have just our Skill Council for Green Job arranged such a nice program. Odisha government has also arranged just last month, felicitating our 51 winners. And there, Odisha is the first state who declared 1 crore prize money for the gold winner and 50 lakhs prize money cash award to the silver winner and 25 lakhs to the bronze winners and 10 lakhs for the medallion of excellence. And not only for this, the institution which will groom the student, that institution also will get 5 crore for bringing 1 gold medal and 3 crores for 1 silver and 2 crores for 1 bronze. So this is money, putting the money this is only one aspect, so that to inspire, to attract all other youths to the mainstream of this skill journey. Yes, that is the career opportunity. Yes, you see, the Pramod Bhagat who got award in Badminton Paralympics Gold Award, immediately Odisha government honored him with 6 crores cash award and class 1 job. And also that happened with Neeraj Chopra, we all know. Then after that, the sports has become a finest career opportunity for maximum number of youth. So like this, Odisha government is also with the commitment of spreading, just bringing one skill revolution, skill development revolution. I can call it skill development revolution across Odisha. Let it be happen within India. All the village guys, they might not be very advanced in advanced technological competition skill development, but they must be very competent in other courses like your cooking, like jewelry making, like your garment making, and like restaurant services, and so many courses are there. So multifarious career opportunities are there. We have to only fix the right kind of platform in collaboration with the government, in assistance with the academia, and in assistance with the industries, and with the proper counseling with the parents also. So I will not take much time. I would like to give a very, very thanks to Skill Council for green jobs, because whatever jobs, whatever works, whatever type of works they are dealing with, it is really fantastic, and it has a direct bearing with life. Because if we look at the other aspects of the life, like other courses, other technological development, without that we could survive. But without environment, sustainable development, without reduction of emissions of the carbon dioxide, without your support system of energy, how could we live? So they have the direct bearing with the very survival of the human, not only human, but also the entire universe. So the great and a very, I think, very proud work, very humble work they are doing. We really very sincerely from the Odisha government side, I'm really very sincerely appreciating the kind of assessment they are doing also on each winners relating to the RE skill competition, and the kind of noble works they are associating with the other industry partners, and particularly inviting us to this August presence. And I would also like to thank all the industry partners. Really, you come forward. You show us the curriculum, the courses where we could place our students, and we would give them the best inputs so that they will be good assets for your industries. And all the academia, you be the mentors like Dronacharya, what sir told. So I think in this war of WorldSkills competition, definite our 5 Pandavas and 5 Dronacharyas, they will contribute, and they will set the role models for all the years of the country. And I would also like to thank Mr. Rout, Sanjib Rout, who is also very close associated with me, very close to me. And he has rightly said one skill development revolution in Odisha. So whatever we have learned from Rout sir, really. Within 1 year, whatever I learned, whatever our team, WorldSkills Center team has learned relating this skill competition, we have learned from CGU, we have learned from Rout sir, we have learned from Rajan sir, and Anup sir. We are really thankful to you, because you have shown the beacon light to the Odisha government as well as all other institutions also, to be a guiding force towards this skill competition. And in days ahead, we all together will bring our country to go miles and miles ahead. Thank you.
To us, and has given direction and opportunities, clarity to a lot of institutions of how they can adopt skill competition for skill development. Next, I would like to call on stage Shri Sanjib Kumar Rout ji, President C.V. Raman Global University Odisha, to share some remarks on the event. Sir, please.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, all of you. And it's a really top job to deliver something when the launch is outing and it has already been delayed. But I'll conclude my speech in 2 minutes. The first thing I like to say all of you that don't implement WorldSkill only to win a medal. If you are going to implement WorldSkill to win a medal, then you will be the most disappointed person, because WorldSkill competition is the Olympic, and everybody going there, they all are the champions, and a person who is skilled with winning skills and with blessings and keep themselves cool and everything favorable that moment to him, he or she will win. But if you adopt WorldSkill curriculum and their best practices as part of your curriculum as a credit program, your students will definitely benefit to the highest extent. They will be a better engineer or skilled person. They will get better employment. They will get better recognition in the society, and they will contribute directly and indirectly to the economy of the country. And second thing is that many of you who look at WorldSkill as a skilling startup, it is definitely a very innovative idea. But you must remember that if you take up WorldSkill program, as a startup and to train people as a business model, then the risk is every time they change the curriculum, they change the equipment, the investment of the size is very huge. So you all should be prepared, and when the technology changes, you need to upgrade them, and that also we don't have in the country, because in this RE WorldSkill competitions, there are four or five components. Solar PV is one only, then you have wind, we have biomass, we have drone, there are a lot of skills are incorporated. So the whole idea of WorldSkill is a person who is a national champion or a world champion in renewable energy. He is not a skilled worker, he is a skilled consultant. He is a person who can give solution, 360-degree solution to a industry, who can design, who can find out the faults, who can train people. That's why they are recognized, and that's an honor across the world. So perceiving those people as a better skilled person is very wrong. They're very skilled consultants, and they're much beyond a skilled person. So if you look at RE, now we are trying to set up the WorldSkills Center, then the investment, the level will be always add-on. Today, if we are investing 3-4 crores to set up that, then every year we must prepare 2 years to add investment, also to train your people, and so that you can continue with the technology and really can deliver. But everywhere there is a challenge. The young people, those who are willing to take challenge and come into this business, then nothing like it. This is something is going to happen in a much bigger way, and the economy cannot grow without skilling our young people. If you skill them, they will get employment, and we badly need employment. My dear friends, I will not speak much, because in these forums, keeping you all waiting for the lunch will be something not fair on my part. So I like to thank Rinjob and Prabek and all the team, Ms. Mamsi Saab and Sukla, the dynamic and the young trainer. They have a big dream. So what I like about Mr. Sukla is, we're starting this competition this time, but the trainer, the master trainer for the WorldSkills, they have the big dream. And a person who dreams, one day definitely will achieve it. A person who doesn't dream, he can never achieve. And I'm sure with all these young teams and the people, and India will definitely win medals, and I wish for the gold medal. Thank you very much.
Srimati Renuprava Nayak ji, to please join us on stage. We would like to felicitate you. For the felicitation, I would like to call on stage Mr. Arpit Sharma, CEO, Skill Council for Green Jobs, and Mr. Sunil Shahu, co-founder and CEO, Innodust Techsolution. I'd request the background personals to please get the awards on stage. and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this event. But on behalf of Skill Council for Green Jobs and Innodust Techsolution, I'm glad to be standing here to express my vote of thanks. A special thanks to our chief guests for accepting our invitation and for being here with us today. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Your thoughts have truly inspired us. I would like to thank all our partners, subject matters experts, members from industry, academia, and students for the commendable preparation effort. I would also like to thank members from WorldSkills Industry and Academia for accepting our invitation and being here with us today. Lastly, I would also like to thank the ground staff for all the arrangements, and thank you all once again for being here. That's the end of the event. Thank you so much. We may proceed towards lunch, which is just outside the hall. Please make yourself comfortable. Thank you, everyone.